If I were buying one today, I would buy silver. Not because I'm talking to you, but no, I plan to sell my gold or my silver. I hope my children have it someday. History is very clear that when there's a disaster, you want to have some gold in the closet. You want to have some silver under the bed. So I'm an old peasant. I got some gold and silver in the closet and under the bed. And I hope I'm smart enough to get some more.
Gold has again hit new all-time highs in 2024, with the precious metals value increasing by 5.65% against the US dollar over the past month and a massive 42.98% over the past 12 months. Silver's performance is closely mirroring gold's performance, with the metal currently trading near $34 per ounce. Renowned gold bulls and prominent analysts are predicting even higher gold and silver prices going into 2025. In recent posts on X, prominent economist and renowned gold bull Peter Schiff shared his thoughts on the gold rally and what comes next for the precious metal. One of the posts made on Tuesday reads, "Gold closed at a record high above $2,775, on track for its best year since 1979. The difference is that in 1979, inflation was near its peak, and the gold bull market was near its end, whereas now inflation is near its trough. The gold bull market is just getting started." In another post, Schiff added, "Rising gold prices and bond yields are not part of the Trump trade. Regardless of the election outcome, budget deficits and inflation are headed higher, which is very bearish for bonds and bullish for gold. So, even if Trump loses, gold prices and bond yields will keep rising." Schiff is certain that a bigger rally lies ahead for gold and silver. He describes it as the mother of all gold bull markets, citing inflation and fiat currency debasement as factors for the rally. Legendary investor Jim Rogers agrees that great times lie ahead for gold and silver investors. However, he is also greatly concerned about the constant money printing activities of central banks and the effects on the global economy. Jim has been warning about an impending bear market in the US and the global economy, and he believes we are much closer to this collapse, which he says will be the worst in his lifetime. In preparation, Jim is buying physical gold and silver, which he says has been recognized as money for thousands of years and has helped the world through several collapses. He shares his thoughts in a recent interview with Andy Millett on the Natural Resource Stocks YouTube channel. As we present clips from the discussion, please watch, share, and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications bell for more videos like this. We appreciate the support and hope you enjoy the video.
This is 2024. In 1924, Britain was the richest, most powerful country in the world. The pound sterling that was all there was in 1924. As you well know, I'm sure, 50 years later, Britain was bankrupt, literally had bailed out by the IMF. Now, that went from number one with no competitor to bankrupt with the IMF paying their bills. Can that happen? Well, it has happened before, not just to Britain, to many other countries. And I look at the American debt, and maybe I just cannot add, but I do not see any way that my children cannot have huge problems in their lifetime because of the U.S. dollar, problems with the U.S. dollar. I remember, 50 years ago, there were gigantic problems in the world with the British pound. Everybody was always trying to figure out, how do we save Britain? How do we save the pound? They eventually went bankrupt. Margaret Thatcher came along and supposedly saved Britain. She was elected in 1979. That was the same year that the North Sea oil started flowing into Britain. So you give me the largest oil field in the world, Andy, and I'll show you a very, very good time. And that's what Margaret Thatcher. So I don't know what's going to save the U.S. We have a lot of oil, but not that much, not comparative to what happened to Britain at that day, in those days. And Washington keeps saying, don't worry. But I keep adding and subtracting, and it makes me worried. Unfortunately, I think I know that most central governments, most central banks in the world know that if they print money, they will look good for a while. I see national debts everywhere, skyrocketing everywhere. And the only solution that they see to that is to print much more money, increase the debts. So I see a world, it's happened before, where currencies are debased, the currencies lose their value. People are trying to figure out ways to survive. And we haven't even gotten to a war yet, because often when going bad somewhere, the politicians blame the foreigners, whoever the foreigners are, it doesn't matter. They always say, not us, we're good, solid human beings. It's those few horrible foreigners that are causing the problem. It's always happened that way, and I suspect they will again. Doesn't matter who the foreigners are, they find some foreigners. They always find some foreigners. Well, between now and then, a lot more turmoil, a lot more currency debasement, disasters in currency, debt, bankruptcies, and usually periods like that have some war. Am I suggesting any of this is good? No. I read enough. No, it's horrible. It's stupid. It's foolish. Is it going to happen? It always has.
The BRICS alliance has been making a lot of progress recently, and experts like Jim are certain that this does not bode well for the US dollar or the US economy in the long term. While speaking at the 16th annual BRICS summit in Kazan last week, Russian President Vladimir Putin proposed establishing a dedicated BRICS economic platform to enhance investment among the 9 member countries and the global South and East. Putin said, "It is obvious that the next wave of global economic growth is being born in the countries of the global majority. Therefore, the time has come to discuss the idea of creating our own platform to unlock the potential of our growing economies." Putin added that the platform would help increase investment flows in large infrastructure and technology projects across these regions. The Russian president urged other countries to join initiatives such as the North-South International Transport Corridor and the Northern Sea Route, adding that these routes are essential in enhancing connectivity and economic stability. "It is vital to have the means to safely and securely invest in emerging markets," Putin said. "This is of utmost importance. This is encapsulated in our proposal to create this new investment platform. It is clear that the West's dominance over the rest of the world is gradually being eroded, and a new power is rising to establish a new world order." Let's get back to Jim's interview.
As you know, the world has had a very long, in fact, in the U.S., the longest prosperity without a problem in American history. And the politicians like that. They think it's fun. They think they'll get them elected. They don't particularly care about you and me. They care about getting elected. That's their reason for going to work every day. So they have learned to print money. It's not just the U.S. Many countries have been doing it. I mean, Japanese, oh my gosh, it's unbelievable how much they have been printing. But everybody's been doing it. And history shows, Andy, history shows me, that eventually leads to problems. Great. It's great while it's happening, but in the end, somebody has to pay the price. And you know what, Andy? You and I are going to pay the price, and a lot of other innocent people. Yep. Not today. Don't worry, not today.
Then when, if it's not today? You don't have to answer that.
Go ahead. Oh, I do want to say one thing in that regard. It's been the longest in American history without a big problem. So I don't know, but I know it's getting closer. I'm mainly looking for is, where is the safe haven? Is there a safe? Yes, I own gold. Yes, I own silver. But even if the world suddenly goes to some kind of gold or silver standard, it'll take a long time. It won't happen quickly. And in the meantime, there'll be chaos and confusion and disaster. So my worry is, where is it? What is it? Who is it? And I hope Andy knows. I hope Andy will figure it out, and Andy will tell all of us, because it is going to be a huge problem. And if there is major currency turmoil in the world, that is a disaster, the likes of which we have not seen often in world history. Right now, if and when we have a big bear market, for whatever reason, and it has to be horrendous. The debt everywhere is staggering. I mean, you look at Tokyo, It's unbelievable how much debt they're building up every day. The Bank of Japan goes to work and gets more debt. Astonishing. They're good Japanese bureaucrats. They do it this. I mean, as I look around, I don't see any place that's a safe haven. I own gold, I own silver, but if and when turmoil comes, it's going to be hard pressed to go down to the grocery store with my silver and say, I need a loaf of bread. It's going to be very difficult everywhere. So what I'm afraid of is the next bear market is going to be very bad because the debt in the U.S. and elsewhere, the world has never seen anything like this. And it keeps getting worse every day. It's not as though there's somebody saying, we got to do something. Every day they say, we got to borrow more money. We got to print more money. So if and when the crisis comes and we're all forced to deal with a problem, that's called a horrible bear market. When the world is forced, when the market forces us all to deal with problems, that's a horrible bear market. I leave it to everybody to figure out their own way to face this problem, but I don't see any way to avoid the problem coming. You and your listeners and everybody, we're going to have to deal with it because it's not just the U.S. Everywhere the debt gets higher. And, in 2008, China bailed us all out. China didn't have much debt, but now China's got huge debts. I don't know who's going to bail us out this time. North Korea doesn't have debt, but everybody else does. And North Korea is not going to bail us out. So, as I look around, I don't see anybody who doesn't have huge debts.
Jim, a seasoned American investor and financial commentator with decades of experience, alongside legendary figures like George Soros, is known for his optimistic stance on precious metals. Amid high inflation and widespread concerns of a global recession, Jim believes that trusted assets like gold and silver are key for protecting wealth and preparing for various economic scenarios. While he is pessimistic about the outlook for the U.S. economy, he is equally optimistic about the future of gold and silver, warning that the favorable market conditions of past decades are behind us, and a severe collapse may be on the horizon. Jim's forecasts present a bleak outlook for both the U.S. and global economy. He expects signs of major financial strain to surface within the next 3 years, or even sooner, following another anticipated round of central bank money printing. His concerns about inflation, an outcome he sees as inevitable with each money printing cycle, are particularly pressing. However, he offers hope by emphasizing that real assets like gold and silver are likely to withstand economic turmoil. Please share your thoughts on the interview in the comments section. Don't forget to support the channel by giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing, and turning on notifications to stay updated. We appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you in the next video.